A super interesting story is coming out about Career Karma's founders. They've launched a new company called OutRival that is essentially helping companies build AI agents. Now, this is very amazing. This is very, a very obviously hot area, this whole AI agents thing. But more interesting than this, I want to tell you the story about essentially what happened to their past company and now, because I think this is indicative of a trend we're going to see in a ton of these AI companies, a ton of different companies. Um, Very, very fascinating. Anyways, so let's get into it. Before we do, I wanted to mention that if you're interested in making money with AI tools, I would love for you to join the AI Hustle School community. We have over 180 members in the community, and we cover exclusive things. Every single week I drop an exclusive piece of content that I don't share anywhere else, essentially covering how to make money with AI tools, everything that I'm using to scale and grow my current businesses and different side hustles I do that make me thousands of dollars a month. So if this is something that you're interested in using AI tools to make passive income on the side or to grow and scale your already existing businesses, join the AI Hustle School community. It's only $19 a month. Eventually, we'll raise the price to $100 a month, but right now, this is the price. And if you get it locked in now, it's not going to raise, or it's not going to get raised on you. So if you're interested, join that. We'd love to have you as a member of the school community. Now, what's so interesting to me about Career Karma? So this is a company, Career Karma, that has previously raised a ton of money. Now they're going to do they're launching this new company called OutRival. They have some really impressive backers. They have some really impressive demos where essentially you're creating these agents, you're creating these workflows. They're trying to help you with customer service agents specifically. So essentially, people are going to be chatting with these chatbots, and they're going to go and get everything done that a customer service agent is going to do. Now, why is this such an interesting story to me? What's interesting to me is that the founders of this company still own and run Career Karma, their previous startup. And what's interesting about that is that previously Career Karma actually raised a $40 million Series B round. And so what's interesting is that OutRival is a new company that they're starting up, but they've said that OutRival is going to be owned by Career Karma. So it's like they're creating a new subsidiary company, and OutRival is going to essentially, they said they're going to be leveraging leftover capital, blah, blah, blah. Okay, leftover capital. Pretty much Career Karma has raised $40 million. I'm assuming that they hit a plateau on how much they felt they could grow that company. So they're just allocating the funding to a completely unrelated different business idea. And I mean, by unrelated, Career Karma says that they're going to, or I guess this the CEOs, the founders, they said that Career Karma is going to use Rivals technology. So it's kind of like they built an in-house tool that would be really useful for them. They got this product, they got customers, and they're like, well, we need help with customer support. Okay, we're going to build these agents that can help with customer support. And then they're like, well, actually, we're going to spin this out into its own complete own company. Um, and so that's essentially going to help with their own job training platform, because that's what Career Karma is, a job training platform. Now, it's interesting because Career Karma, it's not like it was this big failure. Like, they're still doing some interesting things. I believe they have a Netflix documentary that's coming out later this month, that they're doing it with Workday and LeBron James, about hiring overlooked talent, right? So it's like they're still making moves and they're still doing some things there. I'm just assuming. Okay, here's like my honest take on this is that a lot of founders right now that raised money in the past or started companies, I mean, they raised their Series B back in 2022, but they've obviously been growing the company for a long time before that. Um, so they've obviously have these companies they're very excited about, but they see some really big new opportunities with everything happening in AI. Everyone is seeing this, right? So everyone's like sees all of the implications of everything happening in AI, and people that are building technology and have the capability of making the software even closer, but sometimes they're kind of in a company that it's hard to leverage all of their ideas. And so some of them are just selling their company and starting something new. Some of them are just ditching their companies and starting something new. And others are doing this kind of move that I feel like I've seen a handful of people make, which is they're just taking the leftover money and starting like this new thing. I've actually seen a handful of people do this. Some of my own personal competitors for AI Box have essentially started their company because they had leftover. I mean, they still had money from previous rounds of funding from completely different businesses, and they just put that towards a new business in AI that they thought could bail them out. Honestly, even to the point where if you look at Elon Musk and Twitter, now I know lots of people are like, oh, it's for free speech. And lots of people are like, oh, it's a colossal failure of like business and money and whatever. Like I know people argue about that with Twitter, but at the end of the day, um, Elon's been able to grow the users of Twitter, but the valuation of the company hasn't necessarily grown because he kind of bought at peak before everything kind of tanked. And what was interesting to me is he went and actually started a completely new company, XAI, and he gave Twitter 30% ownership of XAI. So all of the investors in Twitter technically have some sort of ownership of XAI. And then XAI obviously has grown insanely fast. They got tons of GPUs. They've been able to make tons of impressive things. They have tons of users, and it's going to probably fuel Tesla's Optimus robots and a lot of other things. So like it's going to be a very lucrative company. They got some of the top talent, and they've raised I think they recently raised $6 billion for that company specifically. So what's interesting to me is, I mean, Elon's obviously an extreme example, but I think we see the same pattern with tons of smaller entrepreneurs where they're essentially have these other companies and they go in and are now raising new money or using leftover money from a previous round, a previous company to build something new, which is interesting. What's also interesting in this is that the investors in that previous thing included Jack Altman, Initialized Capital, some other players. So to me, this is really interesting. And this is what the CEO specifically said about this. He said, today with AI, not only are companies in every industry making technology a part of their core operations, but AI is fundamentally changing how they do business and how people work. We know that there has to be a way to scale personalized experiences using AI while making the technology accessible to people closest to the customer journey. So what's interesting to me with OutRival as well, they said that like we're setting ourselves apart because we're not replacing customer service agents. We're making tools um, that can help them. Personally, I think that that's like I don't know. That seems like a silly thing to say. Like we're unique because we're not replacing somebody. And I know this is also very controversial, but in my opinion, wouldn't you want to? You'd want to replace people because you can save the most money doing that. And we have companies like Klarna that have completely replaced their customer service departments to a large degree, unless it gets something gets like raised very high up the chain of command and an actual person engages. So they have just much smaller customer service departments. So to me, I don't really see that as a necessarily a plus, but the company looks really interesting. You can deploy this across a bunch of different channels: Microsoft Teams, emails, text, Slack, voice, web chat, web calls, phone calling, all of this. So it's a very interesting company. Very impressed with I don't know some of the stuff they're building, and I think maybe I think they should have a bigger vision on what they're doing. In any case, just with everything going on between Career Karma and then moving that money over to this new fund or this new venture, I think this is a really interesting time to be in AI. Obviously, the market is incredibly hot. Apparently, startups that are building AI agents have raised $8 billion this year so far, according to PitchBook, which is huge. And the VC industry has already put at least $64 billion into the AI sector. So this is incredibly hot right now. And I'm really curious to see with all of this money going in, if we're going to see more and more companies and founders of companies that are in not really AI specific companies start essentially doing what's a side project, but it's owned by the main project, and they use the main project's funds that they previously raised money for. So really fascinating story for that reason. I'll keep you up to date if anything else happens. Again, if you're interested in making money with AI tools or growing your business with AI tools, I would love to have you as a member of the AI Hustle School community. I will create some incredible exclusive content there for you, and I'm already doing it every week. Yesterday's was an amazing episode, so if you want to check it out, go join the school community. We'd love to have you. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day.